When you first learn about keto, the first thing we want to know is, what do people eat on a keto diet? Because it's not a normal diet. So we are basically saying the standard American diet has too much sugar. So we're going to go online, very likely, and we're going to find some source of information. So I decided to take a look to see what would happen if I looked for keto recipes on YouTube. What channels would come up? What kind of recipes would I find? So I searched keto recipes, and then I filtered by channel, and then I took the top 20 and I went to the channel to see what recipes are being suggested to me. I looked at the 12 most recent videos published. What I found was that anywhere from 3 to about 9 of those recipes were for desserts or sweet tasting foods, with the exception of one channel. When I sorted by most popular, again, anywhere from 3 to 9 of each of these channels' most popular videos were desserts, again, with the exception of one channel. Why am I even focusing on whether or not there are desserts being presented to someone who's trying to understand what keto is about and what we should be eating on keto? It's because very likely, if I don't know what to eat on my keto diet, that means I'm new. And if I'm new, that means very likely I'm coming from a standard Canadian, American, Chinese, whatever diet. And that means my palate, my taste buds are much more likely to be trained towards sweet. If my taste buds are trained towards sweet, there's a good possibility that not only am I going to be happy to see all these desserts on the screen, but they might be the first things that I'm focusing on making, which now has skewed my keto journey towards keto replacement fun foods. Those fun foods are going to be in my diet to mimic the diet that I was just walking away from because it was causing all of my health problems. I want to talk about why this is happening, but even more importantly, why this is dangerous for our health and our ability to solve our health problems, our weight problems, all the things that we say we want to do keto for. By the end of this video, I'm going to give you the most important reason that you should actually be worried about eating keto treats, keto desserts, and all these fun, sweet tasting keto foods. So watch till the end. We like eating, and that's normal because eating keeps us alive. And anything that our body wants us to do, it rewards us for doing it. So when we eat, feel-good hormones are released that encourage us to eat again when we're hungry. The problem is, society also uses food as a reward, but it's rewarding behaviors that are not necessary for survival. It's rewarding behaviors that we would have learned to do anyway. And so therefore, it's rewarding behaviors with food that my body would have naturally rewarded me with in a different way. For example, we often reward kids for peeing in the toilet with candy or fun stuff, when they would have had the reward of using the bathroom in the right place by the smile they would have saw on mom and dad's face when they did it, the natural social reward that they would have gotten for that. We do the same thing for graduating school. We get parties and gifts. We do the same thing for getting married. We have this beautiful cake that we're all waiting to eat, rather than letting the normal social reward of being in a loving marriage be the reason that I did the good behavior of getting married. Because we're being taught that when we do something good, we should get a sweet reward, a fun reward, whether it's a drink or something to eat, we start looking for reasons to get rewards, right? Because we like getting rewarded. We like being encouraged. And now we're looking for more reasons for this to happen. And that's when I start hearing things like, well, I deserve cake on my birthday. Or a holiday isn't a holiday if we don't have a big meal. And of course, if I do something good that increases my finances, I should have a glass of champagne. When we consider something normal, we do it. But when we do it, we see it as normal. And so we're constantly engaging in behavior that isn't good for our weight, isn't good for our internal health, but is seen as normal, so we keep doing it. And of course, when we go searching for keto recipes and we see on these channels ways to make ice cream, ways to make cookies, ways to make cake that are keto friendly, we absolutely think, oh, that's normal. Of course, we need to be eating these things. That's what we do. Because how else would I celebrate if I didn't have something sweet to eat? We need to pause and think about what negative could come from believing that every time I feel good, I should eat something sweet. Because, for example, we feel good when it's the weekend. And yeah, I see a lot of people who have the idea, oh, it's the weekend, I'm going to have a cheat meal. We feel good at the end of a workday. And sure, a lot of people at the end of work will go to happy hour. Actually, because we think that every time we feel good, we should eat something sweet, we look for reasons to add sweet to things that make us feel good. And companies love this because it's another opportunity for them to sell us something, right? Something fun. We like to feel good, as we should. But the more reasons we give ourselves to celebrate with fun foods, the sicker we are getting. And you're going to say to me, but Violet, these keto-friendly treats that we're making have little to no sugar in them. How can this be a bad thing? The reason it's a bad thing is because of the cephalic response to sugar that every person on the planet lives. Because artificial sweeteners cause insulin to rise, because insulin is responding to that sweet flavor, believing sugar is coming. Maybe it does if there's a little carb, maybe it doesn't, but it goes up. We put sugar away as fat so that there's room for this incoming sugar in our blood. Now, first, I want to make sure that we understand our body has to do this. If our body didn't put some of that sugar away in storage, right, fat storage, and we would have eaten sugar and our blood sugar would have gone up, like type 1 diabetics who don't have the ability to put the sugar away because they don't make insulin, we would get sicker and sicker and sicker until we pass. So our body is protecting us by putting some sugar in fat storage, making room for the incoming carb. And our body is very vigilant at making sure that our sugar numbers stay where they're supposed to, around 5 grams of sugar in our entire blood system, right? It wants it to stay there. So here's what I want you to think about. If I ate a fat bomb that actually had no sugar in it, what just happened? Well, I ate a fat bomb, and then no sugar came in, but my body put sugar away, thinking there was sugar coming because it tasted sweet, and now I'm low in sugar. What's my body to do? It's going to send me to go get sugar. Yeah, it's going to tell me to go and eat something. Why? Because there's not enough sugar in the body now, and when your insulin is high, which is what happened because it tasted sweet, my insulin went up, I can't get any energy out of storage, so it can't go pull some energy back out. I need to go eat more. The same thing happens when we drink sweet tasting diet sodas, diet waters, like that have sweet flavors in them. We're activating insulin, and we're storing sugar away, and that's why eventually we feel hungry sooner than we normally would have had we not had the fat bomb or the diet drink or the whatever. The second problem that I have with us having these keto treats, and keto treats that are typically going to be eaten when I feel good, so I'm celebrating with these keto treats, it keeps my mouth wanting sweet flavors. One thing that I learned is that our mouth is trained on what we're eating. And so if you think about it, the kinds of snacks that we eat here in North America are not flavored the same way as the ones that they eat, for example, in China. And those are flavored differently than the ones that they eat, for example, in Italy. We have different flavor profiles that we like, and our palate is tuned to those flavor profiles. right now in North America, we are tuned toward sweet. And if I actually want my body and my health to improve, then what I'm trying to do is help my mouth to be trained towards better flavors, the flavors from healthier foods. So now we're talking about savory things like meats and eggs and fish, and the lower glycemic vegetables that don't taste sweet, but those ones tend to taste more earthy, right? Like your salads and your avocado, they taste more earthy. The problem that I see is that we allow our mouths, to keep being trained towards sweet when we make keto replacement treats. So we make these treats, then they're around the house, and for many of us, because we like eating sweet things, maybe we're not able to stick to the one serving. Maybe we have more than a serving. But more importantly, what happens if I'm craving sweet and I don't have a keto treat available to me? Do I accidentally end up, it's not an accident, but do I end up eating the real cookie, the real chocolate bar, because there wasn't a keto version available to me? And often I hear people say yes to that question. I know that in my history of eating, if I wanted a chocolate bar, but there wasn't a chocolate bar available, I for sure ate the cookies or the whatever else might have had chocolate in it. And I think it's putting ourselves in a bad position to have these keto treats that keeps us focused on sweet flavors. And then when they're not available, but there's other sweet things available, we're fighting with ourselves. That's really, really hard to manage, especially when you're new to eating a healthy keto diet. The dangers of artificial sweeteners are tricky because they play into what society tells us already. They tell us that doing keto is unsustainable because everybody wants to have fun with food and everybody wants to have a treat sometimes and it ignores the damage to our health that happens because everybody wants to have fun with food and everybody's having treats and desserts. And I do believe that that's why when I go to these channels and I sort by popular, so many of their dessert videos are the ones that are the most popular, because everybody wants a way around eating healthy and still getting fun flavors, not realizing that those fun flavors are keeping you sick and making eating your healthy lifestyle, so eating healthy keto, more difficult. And you would think that that was the biggest problem, but there's more. Sugar in our blood is absolutely a problem. And if I'm eating keto-friendly treats and I overeat them because when I eat something sweet, my addiction kicks in and I'm out of control, it doesn't matter if I'm eating too much sugar from a regular cookie or too much sugar because I ate 7 keto cookies. If I go over the amount of sugar that my body can manage, I go over the amount of sugar that my body can manage. Almond flour counts, coconut flour counts, any other kind of replacement flour counts because there's carbs in them. If we know that sugar is the problem that's causing our poor health, but then we make these keto treats to eat that the only purpose of eating them is for entertainment, then what I'm really doing is eating a treat whose only purpose is to deliver sugar to my body. The same sugar that I am doing this diet because I've learned is causing harm to my body. Wellness Warrior, I want you to pause and think about whether that's a good idea. But it gets worse. Because what's an even bigger problem than the fact that I'm eating a cookie whose only purpose is to add sugar to me is when I'm eating something that has no sugar in it, but that's sweet, that's increasing my insulin unnecessarily. Insulin resistance is the thing we're trying to solve, but I'm at that moment eating something. So a diet soda or a fat bomb, I'm eating something that's sole reason for spiking my insulin is a taste of sweet, and it's giving me no carb. if I'm increasing my insulin resistance, I'm getting myself closer to potential diabetes, PCOS, Alzheimer's, like heart disease, stroke, like for no reason other than it's a fun thing to put in my mouth. I really want us to understand that is a mistake. We keep looking at food from a lens that says it's all about weight. That is a lie. Thin equals good health is a lie. We're trying to accomplish good internal health when we're eating keto, when we're eating low carb, when we're eating carnivore. When we're bringing our carbs down, it's because we're acknowledging that the sugar is what's ruining the health of the people on this planet, because we're eating much more sugar than we ever need to eat. Our body makes all the sugar that we actually need. By eating so much sugar, we are keeping insulin high, and we're not noticing the damage because we can't see the damage. So all we ever pay attention to is the fat. But we are not paying attention to the skin issues that we have. We're not paying attention to and linking the joint issues that we have to the sugar we're eating. And we're for sure not realizing that we're not going to know about our heart issue until we have a heart attack. We're not going to know about a lot of our internal issues until the pain is at a point that says that the organ is damaged. And Wellness Warrior, I want you to understand that now that you know sugar is causing a problem, you have the opportunity today to change this. If right now you found out that there was a leak in your basement that was coming into your basement in a place that you couldn't see it, but you know it's there, somehow you found out, you do something about it, because you know it's going to cause damage, bigger damage. Even if I can't see it, if I know it's happening, I'm going to try to fix it. Now you know that eating sugar spikes insulin. Now you know that eating artificial sweeteners spikes insulin. Are you going to do what you need to do to minimize the amount of sugar, the amount of sweet that you're eating? It's not about sugar specifically. It's also about the taste of sweet. We are doing a keto lifestyle because we're trying to solve an insulin problem. And I want you to focus on that. The answer is to separate food from fun. The answer is to entertain yourself by doing activities, engaging with friends, and making the food you eat about building blocks and about energy. When you do that, and you do it consistently, you will be successful at getting your health under control. And then you're going to have a body that works properly and allows you to do the fun things that you want to do. I can tell you that there was no way in my mind I thought that at 46 years old, I wouldn't be able to do normal things, that I would be walking like an 80-year-old. But I was. And I was walking like that because of the inflammation that was all over my body and was causing my hip to not function. I wasn't ready to give up snowboarding and longboarding. I needed to find an answer to this. Now that I found this answer, I'm sharing it with you because I don't want you to live through what I lived through. That was horrible. And it was scary. And doctors talking about hip replacement eventually, and it was not how I wanted my 46th year to be. And all of that because I let myself eat fun foods. I let myself be lazy and eat fast food for dinner. I'd have chocolate bars and do all the things that everybody else was doing. If they can do it, why can't I? Because it's not healthy. I shouldn't have been doing it because it was destroying my hip and my body altogether. And what internal damage was happening, I still don't know for sure. I'm trying to repair all of that now by sticking to my healthy diet and my healthy lifestyle, because that's what it is. I will eat this way forever. I'm telling you this so that you can make the change and learn to celebrate your wins by going bowling and hanging out with friends rather than eating cake and having ice cream. I want you to learn to enjoy fun things with fun people and find activities that you like and stop using food to entertain yourselves. And if you do that, then we have half of this problem solved. But how do I manage when I'm feeling bad and I turn to food? That's the second half of this problem that I'm going to teach you how to manage in this video right there. So click on the link. I'm going to meet you over there.